I guess that everybody who is on the spiritual path, everybody of you, knows who you are, at least theoretically. You know you are this Atma. You know you're not this body, your mind, your emotions, your ups and downs. You know it. You know that this world is temporary. The ups and downs are temporary. You know that the purpose of life is to realize your true self. You know that the purpose of life is to realize the love of God. You know that everything in life is just to bring you a step closer to that love, a little bit closer to yourself. Everything, every up and every down, everything is His grace to bring you closer. You all know that, don't you? You know or you don't know? If we know that, how is life? Isn't life amazing? If I know I am a spirit soul, I am here to grow in the love for God, everything which happens is just to bring me closer to this love of God. Is there anything which can put me down? No, it can't be. So probably we know and we don't know at the same time. That's why it's good to remember this knowledge. There, Krishna in the Gita speaks about what true knowledge is. In chapter 13, verses 8 till 12, he speaks what true knowledge is. And I know they're so basic principles, but still, let me just read through them so that you can take whatever is helpful for you on those points. Being free from pride and deceit, humility, not harming, patience, integrity, service to the master, purity, steadfastness and self-restraint, being detached from sense objects, rising above the sense of ego, seeing the misery of birth, death, old age and suffering, being without attachment and entanglement for son, wife, home, and other such things. Being equal-minded, having exclusive, undeviated devotion to me, to Krishna, being in solitude, having aversion from mundane society, having constant dedication to the path of self-realization and the goal of truth. All of this should be considered knowledge. Everything else is ignorance. So it doesn't matter if you're professor, doctor, magister. If you don't follow those principles, if you don't try to rise over your ego, if you don't dedicate your life to this pursuit of knowing your true self, knowing God, serving the master, purity, all of those things, if you don't live according to that, you're ignorant. We are ignorant. Yeah? That is knowledge. Everything else is ignorance. And the state of knowledge is a sattvic state. If we are called to remember this truth, to know this truth, we have to stay in a sattvic state, because the quality of sattva is the quality of purity of knowledge, right? You have heard about the gunas, and they are important to understand. If I am in a sattvic state of mind, in a sattvic lifestyle, then I will more easily remember. And why is it good to remember? Because if you remember, life is great. If I know, life is great. If I forget, then life starts to become a little bit more difficult. Right? Krishna asks, or Arjuna asks Krishna, what is it what makes me sin, makes me do the wrong things against my will, even though I know it is wrong to be egoistic, even though I know it is wrong to want, to like and dislike, still I'm falling in the trap. He asks him in chapter 3, verse 36, and Krishna answers, it is desire. No? Kama esho, krodha esho, rajaguna samudbhava. It is the desire and the following anger which comes with that desire. And we know desire has many facets. Expectations, how things should be, how a person should be, how a situation should be. And when it's not the way I want it to be, then I'm getting somehow angry. And it doesn't matter if I have good reasons for expecting it or not, it is still detrimental for me. Because anger is like a fire, and fire destroys. But firstly, it destroys the place where it starts. It destroys you. So Rajaguna is where the problem starts. We want something. We get out of check. We forget that we are a true spirit soul, that we are here to grow in love for God, that everything is an opportunity, that everything is great. We forget that. And suddenly we are like complaining. Something is not great anymore. Strange. Where is that knowledge suddenly gone? It has left you together with Sattvaguna. And the more you go down that road, the more you come to the place of avidya, ignorance, which is connected with Tamoguna. The more we get into the state of tamas, which is connected with ignorance, negligence, forgetfulness, laziness, sloth, all those qualities which then depression, everything which is dense. So if you experience those things, you know you in which guna you are. Knowledge has left you. Sattva guna has left you. Or you have left it. I don't know. Because in the end, it is a choice. It is a choice. The truth is the truth, stays the truth, and will always be the truth. Yes, he is merciful, and that's the beauty of this verse. He says, even you tend to forget. Because even Nam Alva says here, I don't know, remembering and forgetting. Lord, you know I will forget. He knows we will forget. But by your grace, you make me remember. By your love, you make me remember. And then he says nicely in the end of this verse, and this love what you give me, how can I ever forget you? After receiving this grace, after receiving that love which we have received, how can I ever forget you? It's a good question. How can I ever forget the truth? But still I forget it. Don't you? Don't we? We forget what is really mattering, and we get lost in the world. We get lost in different things. Negligence is a result of it. Forgetfulness, being not well, and all those things, they are just results of it. And therefore, yes, it's beautiful that we have Gurudev, and now in the next 2 weeks he's going to give commentary on the Guru Gita, on the importance of the Guru. We have the temple, we have the deity, we have the Sangha, we have so many things through which he reminds us. He will constantly remind us, even if he has to make us suffer to remind us, because sometimes that's a good reminder. But then my question comes, what can I do? Like, what is my participation to remember more? How can I remember more your love? How can I remember more the purpose of life? How can I remember more what is life about, and therefore have a good life, enjoy my life, enjoy everything, because everything is for our well-being, no? And that is by not being negligent, by not letting yourself go down that rabbit hole. If you know how it functions, then that's where the sadhana comes into place. Sadhana, doing your japam, sadhana of doing the puja, sadhana of doing your kriya, sadhana of listening to satsang. It should bring you there. It should make you contemplate about those things. Just one word, detachment. But that word, like if I just think, am I detached? Desire, expectation, alarm. Do I have desires, expectations? Oh yeah, okay. So, wow, there's so much to analyze, to look at myself. The sadhana will help you. What is the solution? Focus on me. Seek the truth. Seeking yourself. Seeking the ultimate. Serving. All those things are knowledge, are uplifting. And it is by doing constantly, by constantly practicing abhyas and vairagya. How can we control this mind? Constant practice. It's not gonna end. There's no holiday. There's no holiday for a devotee. There's no holiday for somebody who is on the path of realization. There's no holiday. The moment you let loose, the mind, just the horses, they go wild. They go wherever they want. And the mind drags you down like nothing. In no time. Like this. You don't even notice. And you are already in this dark hole. And when you look back, you think like, how did I get there? I was in such a good place. So quickly it goes. We have to be watchful. We have to be watchful. And practice. Remember. And then we might not get lost. Because otherwise, the negligence of letting it go, it just makes it worse. It makes it worse and worse and worse. And that was somehow, something happened the last few days which reminded me of that. In my room, I got a cast hand of Gurudev. Yeah, like one of the first cast hands from Guruji. It's a little broken in front, or it has a little. So I got it. And I hung it on top of the door. So when you walk in, there's some padukas, picture of his footprints, and then there's the hand. You walk in, you get like darshan. You walk in, you get darshan. But the problem is, this wall is like cardboard. Yeah, it wasn't properly fixed. I fixed it somehow and it held nicely, but I noticed every time when I walked in that it's getting more and more loose. This hand is getting more and more loose, but it's still hanging. It's still good. Negligence. It's okay. It's okay. Nothing will happen. It hangs. Where should it go? Yeah, it's strong enough, right? And time passes, and I'm looking at this, and I'm thinking various times, maybe I should fix it properly. It's okay. Negligence. The other day, 2 days ago, I'm sitting, I do my sadhana, I'm sitting in my room, do my sadhana, and suddenly the door opens with like violently, rum, and that's only one person who enters my room like that. That's Guruji. But now what happened? Now that hand has come down so far that it's actually underneath the door. So when he opened the door, it ripped out the hand, and the hand fell on him. And so he opened the door, ripped out that hand, his own hand, which hit him, and he stands there, and I'm like, on one side, so happy. He's here, but now he's just on the threshold. And his good mood of wanting to visit is obviously gone, because the hand has hurt him now. And he gives me a proper lecture about, you want to kill me? Did you plan this? And he was like going on a rampage, I don't know. And I'm just like, no, no, please come in. No, I don't want to come in anymore. No. And he leaves. And I'm like, you see? What made him leave was my negligence. I didn't fix that hand, which I saw I should fix. I didn't fix my problem, when you have your expectations, when you have your desires. You don't fix it and you go down till something happens, and that repels God, that repels the Guru. That doesn't make him enter your room. That makes him go away. He left. The good thing is the hand is still intact. It didn't broke. So the blessing is still there. I can still fix it. But it's time to fix it now. Yeah, in that moment I was thinking, he is there, his blessing is there. But we have to be watchful. If we let the things just go by, if you see you have a pattern, if you see you have egoism, if you see you have attachments, if you see you have some tendencies which are not according to chapter 13, verse 8 till 12, what is knowledge, what is good for you, then work on them. Not tomorrow, now. Don't wait till tomorrow. Tomorrow will never come. Now. Don't wait. Every day, every moment, do your best in offering it to him, offering it at his feet, doing your prayer, getting in check with yourself. And if you do that, then you will more and more stay in that space of knowledge, in that space of remembering the truth. And life will just be an amazing ride. Jai Gurudev.